Can we just give Jenny from the block a break? The latest letdown for Jennifer Lopez was when she went to a Chanel store while in Turkey and they denied her entry, citing that they were full, and the security guards did not recognize her. You guys, can you imagine? So Jennifer Lopez is currently on her Up All Night tour, and I guess her current stop is in Turkey. And the singer was out and about, trying to make it rain, and she was like, I'm going to go to this designer store that should recognize me, but they did not. And J-Lo did not even make a huge deal. She was just like, okay, no problem. And she went next door to Celine and Beymen, where they welcomed her, and she apparently dropped thousands of dollars. So I'm assuming someone at Chanel is going to get fired, probably one of those security guards. So yeah, I just found this story very interesting. J-Lo has been through it, you guys. It's been a rough couple of years. Her divorce from Ben Affleck, her public fallout with him, and the whole Diddy stuff, just like, it's not easy what she's been through. And then for her to be in another whole country where she is not being recognized, I cannot even imagine, you guys. Why do I feel like that is shade? Because first of all, I just saw the picture of her. She was, I think, wearing shorts. I'm assuming it's the same day that she was denied entry. She is very much looking like a tourist. She's walking around with a ton of security guards herself. And you're telling me these people did not recognize who she was, did not even, pause to find out who she was before denying her entry? Okay, here's my opinion, you guys. And again, this is my opinion. Why do I feel like, her raunchy performance over there has something to do with this? Turkey, I feel like, is a country that is mixed, with liberal and conservative views, but also very traditional, and women are expected to cover up. Again, you guys, this is my opinion. And so why do I feel like this guy was, trying to humble her, trying to, based on how I feel like the country is, maybe he was like, no, you are not going to come in here, and we are not going to accept you. After, her moves were very, like, people were shocked at what she was doing. And you guys, J-Lo is not young. She turned 56, I believe, and her antics on stage are raunchy, but also unbelievable for a 56-year-old. She's very bendable. She's very athletic, I see, and I don't think everyone is taking all those moves well. I just feel like this security guard, was trying to pretend that he didn't recognize her. I don't know if it's one or a couple of them. And, she wasn't going to, beg to be accepted. She just went next door and dropped huge sums of cash. And, she had a 2024 album where she was with this label, and apparently sales did not go the way they were expected, so she is now an independent artist. So yeah, you guys, J-Lo is a very tough woman, and this is not the first time that she has been publicly snubbed while working with an entire entourage of security. A few years back, she, the story goes that she went to her childhood home, and the current resident who was living there was like very unassuming. He didn't recognize who she was. She went there and was telling him that this was her former home, this is where she used to live, and the guy was like, and who are you again? And Wow, yeah. So for that to happen in the States and then that whole energy follows her all the way to Turkey, it's a lot, you guys. Can we just give her a break? She gave us Jenny from the block. Okay? Bye.